Welcome to the Mile High webinar. We're looking forward to having you join us August 21st to 23rd at the Mile High Chiro Movement Weekend, and aka MH3. So log in to register if you have not yet, www.milehighchiro.org. And I am beyond stoked to be here today on this webinar with one of my favorite people, a person who is honestly, Mile High would not have had the impact that it's had if it wasn't for what I've learned from Dr. Matthew Loop, and I'm excited to have you join us out at Mile High in August. Welcome, Matthew.
I'm excited to be here, Danny. It's always a pleasure, and I'm actually happy that you took what I taught you and applied it to Mile High, and not just to practice, but so many doctors that I'll teach this stuff to that they might implement a small, tiny fraction, and they don't really realize the impact that they can have. So I'm stoked that Mile High has grown like it has, and it's only going to multiply in the future. So yeah.
Well, and that's the goal. We want to reach more chiropractors, get more people on more tables more often, and impact the world. So starting off here, what excites you about coming out here in August?
I love networking with other like-minded chiropractors. It helps get me on purpose. It really keeps me focused. And also seeing people, their lights turn on as they get, wow, social media can impact my practice, not just from a revenue standpoint, that always comes, but I'm able to reach more people than I ever thought I would possible. You could do screenings every single day for a year and still not reach as many individuals or prospective patients in the community if you understand how to strategically use social media marketing. So when I see the attendees, the doctors get it, and the light bulb goes off, I just love that, like that shine in their eye, like, wow, I can really do something with this. And I just happen to have the tools and resources and the experience to guide them along the path. So I love that, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Now, I know that in working with you, I think I was one of the early adopters of your programs back in, I think about 2009 was when I first picked up your social media elite. You've helped thousands of chiropractors and other professionals with social media. I want people to get to know you a little bit. How did that become your avenue? I mean, you're a chiropractor. How did you end up doing that? And what are some things, why is it vital for chiropractors to get in this direction?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm a chiropractor, like you, the doctor watching this right now. Let me just make that clear first and foremost. My journey is very interesting because to date, since 2005, I've worked with over 7,000 chiropractors.
Wow.
And if you look back in 2005, I was the guy getting patients through his door from MySpace, if you can believe that or not. When everyone thought it was a kids network, just so happened that no one was doing this stuff in the chiropractic field, but also in business in general. And so I got in at a perfect time where I started to harness this medium for, to build my office. People were coming in, and once 10 to 12 new patients per month were coming in, I had colleagues that I went to school with. They started asking me, dude, what the hell are you doing? How are you using this kids network to bring people through the door? And I started showing them, how to harness and target by demographic, how to put out these health newsletters. And it really just spawned. I didn't have the first clue about taking my knowledge and putting it into a digital information product at that time. So I had to learn so much about just information marketing and to get it in the hands. But what had happened, all these friends started coming up to me and telling their friends, their other chiropractic colleagues. So it started to cut into my practice time. And that's when I had to really make a decision to say, okay, well, I love chiropractic. I love helping patients in the office, but I think this is absolutely amazing. And now I have the chance to really create a massive impact to help tens of thousands of doctors that can help potentially millions of patients. So it was just a role and a mission that I gladly accepted. And right now I still have my practice here in Atlanta, but I've got independent contractors that work here and they see patients. Most of my time is traveling, speaking, and consulting with chiropractors and other professionals. I've worked with over 7,000 chiropractors to date, over 27,000 people in total, entrepreneurs, real estate professionals, attorneys, dentists. I mean, anyone you can think of, brand celebrities. I mean, I just was in at the right time, and I branded myself accordingly. So when people think of social media revenue strategist, I'm usually somewhere along those lines or within a network, and I get a lot of referrals. So I'm very blessed and grateful. So that's in a nutshell, short story, how things came to be.
Which I'm glad for you to share because I want people to get to know you.
Yeah, I think some people, and I still get that question, are you a chiropractor? And I am. I mean, if you read my profile, you know that, and what I post in particular. So yeah, I want to be very, very clear about that. Now, in terms of why chiropractors need to be doing this stuff, it's not 2001 anymore. We need to start marketing, promoting, and outreaching in our community like it's the year we actually live in. I mean, 20 years ago, if you weren't in the yellow pages, people would look at you as suspect. They would distrust you. Now the same thing is happening this year and beyond because everyone is on Facebook. Everyone's on social media sites like Twitter, YouTube. That's where the people are. So we as chiropractors need to evolve our communication, be where the people are, but also have an overwhelming presence online because when you do, you're the only logical choice when someone searches a chiropractor, and we can also shape perception. This is a big deal for me because, as you know, chiropractic in the marketplace in general, due to a lot of negative press and publicity for decades, and then the Will case came along and basically said, hey, there was a conspiracy by the AMA. There was this decade-long propaganda machine, or several decade-long propaganda machine. So we're still kind of bouncing back from that. Sometimes we do shoot ourselves in the foot as well, but we're still bouncing back from that. But nowadays with Facebook and all these other media, you can shape public perception how you want it. And think of it this way. For decades, the drug industry, they've been using commercials, radio, all expensive media to get people to believe that toxic sludge is good for them, to get them to believe that medical journals are objective, to get them to believe all this other stuff. And so we've got the power, again, if you refuse the direct response components, getting people through our door immediately with branding long term. So I could stick a Facebook ad up today, get 12, 10 cents per click. I'll spend that all day long because I'll get a great return on my investment. But the byproduct of that is me teaching a market what to think and believe about a certain subject. They're hit over and over with the same message over and over and over, and that starts to become their reality, their truth. Chiropractors need to really understand the power of this. It doesn't really take a lot of money at all. In some cases, it doesn't take any money, but it is the power that we're dealing with. And you probably can see how passionate and fired up I get because there's so much opportunity for us. And a lot of doctors still seem to be sitting on the sidelines, and it quite honestly pisses me off.
Well, it's interesting. One of the things I first learned from you years ago was, I know I got this from you, is in one of your programs that I listened to and watch, was that it was the first time in history that the individual could actually influence media without the big networks. I mean, you could do that right with this. You could have a huge influence on the world as an individual rather than as CNN.
Absolutely. The gatekeepers are kind of out of the way in certain avenues and elements on social media. They are coming back, but now again, you don't have to submit a story to CNN and hope that they approve it to get mass distribution.
Right.
That's really the power. I mean, it really opens up the line of communication for everyone if they're smart in how to use it. And that's the bottom line. So it's very exciting times for that.
And here's the thing, like I get irritated too, like you said, when chiropractors are not using that more, or using it intelligently, or they're wasting time on it, which is an easy thing to do. And turning the wheels, because if you think about this, I know I've said this before with you on a Sherman Connect call, that BJ Palmer, he was an entrepreneur, and by far, and he, one of the best one in chiropractic history probably, and he was using whatever the media of the day was, which in that case was radio, so he could do everything he could to blast his message out, and that's what you're talking about, is getting our message out.
BJ was a smart guy. And I think a lot of doctors, it's like, and I don't know if this comes within school or where it comes from, but we learn a lot about philosophy, technique, and we have this desire to empower the masses, but somewhere the business sense gets left and thrown out the back door is what it is. And you got a lot of chiropractors with great intentions, but they're not understanding the business side of things, which BJ knew oh so well. So we're totally along the same lines there.
Right, exactly. Now, to give something, the people that are watching something solid, if you were a chiropractor, you are. If you're a chiropractor today, and you've got to get started with social media, where would you tell people to start?
Facebook. Facebook is the largest social network. Over 1.3 billion people now use Facebook. So a simple strategy that you can use in your chiropractic practice right now is to get patients to check in at your office. And to do this, you can give them a weekly raffle, a weekly incentive. So for example, let's say that you're seeing a patient 2 to 3 times per week, and in your office you say, hey, we're going to have a raffle for whatever it is, whether it's an extra added bonus or extra added service, something a free adjustment, however you practice. And you can have a weekly raffle, so anyone that checks in during that week will get a ticket. The winner is announced the following week. Obviously, you get to check with your state board to see what you can and can't do. I'm not an attorney, so but what I can tell you is that there's never been any HIPAA compliance issue with this because the patient is actually checking in on their own volition. You know, it's not like we're checking them in. So there's really, to my understanding, no violation there, but you can always check with your state board. The power of doing this is the average Facebook user's got over 300 friends on Facebook. So when this person checks in, you know they're connected to other local people in the community. I've got clients that are getting an extra 2-3 patients a week just off of this one method.
Wow.
50, 100 patients are checking in every single week. That's tens of thousands of free impressions that your clinic is getting every single week. And what naturally happens is that Mary Jane's coming into your office and a discussion is sparked. She checks in, her friend says, oh, hey, I didn't know you were seeing a chiropractor. What are you seeing him for? And then they start to get into this whole discussion on their Facebook profile. Well, if you know anything about the newsfeed, what happens is the more comments you get, the more discussion, that shows it to even more friends. So this thing becomes viral and you're getting, again, tens of thousands of free impressions to your clinic. Very, very simple to do. Doesn't cost you a dime to implement, but it can totally revolutionize the way that you're bringing people through the door and make this a reality. I know for some docs, they can't really connect. How does the internet bring people through the door? But I'm telling you right now, something that simple will totally change your life. So again, an easy protocol that can be implemented. Just make sure that when somebody checks in, they can do it from their smartphone and or the laptop in the office. With the Facebook application, it's going to say nearby places or check in. Once that button is hit, then it's going to populate all the businesses in the area, including your clinic, and that's where they can check in and leave a photo if they want. Have them show the phone to your CA afterward that they did check in to verify. Just because when somebody checks in, it doesn't automatically post to your Facebook fan page. You'll see the numbers, but you won't see the person's name.
Got it.
Now, your CA at the front desk, she can make a quick Excel spreadsheet of, okay, Mary Jones, she checked in. So at the very end of the week, you know, you've got the patient's name listed plus all the times that they checked in and or other patients. Make it very, very simple and easy. And I think you'll be surprised by just how much exposure that you're getting. Make it fun for patients to do that in the office, and you're going to see some great returns.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's such a simple thing. It's just impressions. And the more you get and people see you, you know, and, oh, why, Matt, did you go to your chiropractor 2 times this week? And I see that all the time. And then they're having lunch, and that becomes a physical reality in addition to the social media. So that's awesome. So here's the thing. That is a huge nugget. People that watching this and start implementing that, they'll see something in the next coming weeks, months, as they do that. Why do people want to be in the room when you're talking at Mile High?
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be like drinking from a fire hose. So you're going to want to take some great notes. I don't hold anything back with my strategies, and I've had people pay me thousands of dollars for the same information that I'm going to give you for free at this event. So you need to be there because we're going to focus on the high leverage stuff as well, not geeky, techie stuff. And if you like that one strategy I just gave you, you're going to love how I teach you to build social proof and just completely inundate the market. You're also going to love what I share with you about how to correctly position your videos online so that you get ranked #1 on Google. And you'll love more Facebook strategies that we'll talk about. I'm going to probably let you in on some big website mistakes that I see most chiropractors making and much, much more. So a lot of gold nuggets that I'm going to share. And it's going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to your practice in the long term. But it's going to allow you to reach and serve so many more people than you ever thought possible. I don't claim to be the jack of all trades, but I am really good at one thing, and that's getting chiropractors to implement social media and seeing results in their clinic and changing lives. I know social media exceptionally well, so you're going to want to be there and feel this impact.
I'm psyched just hearing you about it, and I've known you're going to be there. I know how you can deliver. So can't wait to have you there. I'm so looking forward to you seeing Colorado. It's beautiful out here. I don't know if you've been in this area, but you're going to love it. Look forward to spending time with you. I know other people looking forward to hanging out with you there. It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait.
So yeah, we'll see you August 21st to 23rd. www.milehighchiro.org if you haven't registered. And of course, as I learned from you, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, when you see this video, make sure you subscribe, right? So
Exactly.
we'll see you there. Thank you so much for coming out and helping chiropractors reach more people.
All right. See you at Mile High.